What's going on, guys? This is Martyrs Brigade 99 coming to you once again with another session of Dark Souls PvP. Alright guys, we're back at it once again with basically a little change of pace. Now, first and foremost, I'd like to go ahead and thank everybody who stopped by a few days ago. I uploaded a quick video basically telling everyone that good old Spike and I would be in the arena at Soul Level 125 on PS3 Team Deus. And basically it was just a fun event for, you know, some of my subs and perhaps a lot of the Twitch bros and anyone else who wanted to participate. You know, just for us to go ahead and have fun, because you know, it seems as though after the DLC was released, I mean, the arena pretty much fell off. Right, so seeing how old the game is and seeing that a lot of people need a new motivation to continue to play, I figured putting out a video and having us all out there on the same night would be a good thing to do. So thanks to Spike for live streaming it on his Twitch channel, and thanks for everyone else who came out to participate. Now, between then and now, for the most part, I've been in the arena, right? Mostly during team matches. Unfortunately, after that night, you know, for which I had a lot of fun that particular night, some of the other days that I was participating in the arena, I mean, it was a lot more try-hardish, right? And, you know, after a few arena matches, I just went on ahead and backed out. Now, I would say probably 1 or 2 days ago, good old Artorius88, shout out to him, he left me a message. He's like, hey dude, you know, if you're not doing anything, why don't you come join us out in the arena? So I'm like, listen dude, I mean, is it try hard arena? Is this die hard mode, full blown out hollow mode arena? Because if it is, I'll pass, right? Because I really don't want to participate in a BS fest, in a ninja flipping BS contest. So he replied by laughing and said, no dude, I mean, I'm kind of playing with friends, we're all cool, I guarantee you'll have some fun. So I came out, and I am so glad that I came out, because he was definitely right. As a matter of fact, I spent almost probably 3 or 4 hours, if not more, on that particular day in the arena. And you know, after having a lot of matches with Artorius88 and a number of other guys, I've reached the conclusion, which will be the title of this particular video, that is nothing wrong with being a casual player. Now, some of you guys may say to yourself, okay now Brigade, what's up with the fancy title? I mean, what exactly are you talking about here? Well, this is what I mean. Shout out to all the Twitch bros. For a lot of the guys who are on Twitch, and you may be there when I'm on the streams, for which I like to be on a good number of streams. Because like I said before, I really like the game, and a lot of people within the community, you know. But see, the thing is, although I may be on the streams and may be watching what's going on during the live stream, it is very rare that I'm actually participating. And the reason that is because, you know, I'm not as competitive as a lot of these other guys. I play for fun. I don't play to prove a point. Therefore, it is actually I can't even say it's very rare. You won't find me using anything try hard. You won't find me trying to one-shot people. You won't find me doing anything. And for the most part, I'm pretty casual. Because, you know, when I'm kind of reading the comments and listening to the views of some of the streamers, and actually that was an awesome parry right there. When I'm listening to the views of some of the streamers, you know, they'll say something like, listen dude, I mean, I understand you don't like to get BS'd all the time, but I mean, that's just basically Major League Gaming. I mean, that's what we do. And, you know, if you're not on, you know, that's basically what separates you from what they consider to be the upper tier group. But see, you know, like I've said plenty of times, I'm not looking to be on the upper tier. As a matter of fact, I play to enjoy myself. I don't like to be in the BS competition, right? And I don't like to be in a competition of who can hornet ring each other the most or one-shot the opponent the fastest. So I think this is one of the things that makes me more of a casual player, is that the competitive side, though, it could be interesting, I don't really do it, for a name or to compete. I just play the game because I think it's fun and I like to play it, and I like to, play with other people who enjoy it, right? And, one thing about being a casual player, in some instances, I think is actually a little more fun being a casual player. Because if you guys notice, if you guys are really watching this footage that's going along with the commentary, you'll notice it is not a BS fest, right? You will notice that we also do not have a lot of poise. As a matter of fact, my build has like 41 poise. This guy right here, he's got like 40 poise on the nose. And like I've said on a number of my past videos, one thing that impresses me is tactics. And when you compare a casual player like myself with a more competitive player, like I've said before, I care about tactics. So what exactly do I mean by that, and what differentiates me from a pro player? Me, like I said before, I want to get better on trying to outplay my opponent, trying to outmaneuver them, not out BS them. Because in other words, in a lot of cases, a BS can inflict like 700 vitality, right? 700 health points. And a lot of people, they cap their builds off at 45 and vitality with the Ring of Favor and Protection, which will give you, 1708 vitality. So when you do a lot of BS's, the match is basically over in like 2 BS's and a swing. But I don't really prefer that. Me personally, and you guys can tell from a lot of my duel videos, I will BS you for a punish, but like I said plenty of times, duels, in my personal opinion, are designed for practice, not for trying to prove who's the biggest hotshot. I think that's what tournaments are for. Same with fight clubs. The way I see it, right? Fight clubs are designed for a group of people to basically improve on their tactics. Because, a lot of times when you may be in the Berg or some of these other areas, granted they may be duels, but because they may not necessarily be with a group of people that you are familiar with, sometime you will run into the DMBs +3, you will run into Hornet Rings and whatnot. So the thing that differentiates a dueling area like the Berg from an organized fight club, for the most part, is you're playing against a group of people who basically agree to a certain set of rules. Now, every now and then in some of these fight clubs, you get the tryhards coming, with their 2,000 in vitality and their min-max builds. I don't do that kind of stuff during fight clubs because at the end of the day, I'm not trying to outplay everybody. Now, if this were a tournament, I'll definitely bring out my tryhard build. Definitely bring it out. If I'm actually going for, let's just say I'm seriously shooting for an arena streak, and I'm not doing it for fun, I'm not doing it just to play with friends, I'm actually doing it to earn a streak, I'll pull out my try-hard builds then. But other than the tournament, and other than, really trying to earn something or achieve something, I'm the same old casual player that I've always been. And I really think it's fun. Because if you guys will notice, with a lot of these guys, we place restrictions on ourselves. Case in point, none of us are using Darkwood Grain Ring. Why is that? Because you can get away with a heck of a lot more with a Darkwood Grain Ring than what you can get away with during the fast roll. If you guys notice, we're not using anything OP. We don't have any Hornet Rings. We're not doing anything. And most of us have less than 53 poise. So, how does this cause us to get better? And what's the difference between us in an effort to get better and the more competitive players who, it doesn't matter what they're doing, they're trying to win at all costs. We place these limitations on ourselves because it will force us to, for example, practice on our toggling, get better with being evasive, getting better with certain weapon tactics and weapon strategies, right? If you notice, a lot of us, we're not using only katanas or only claymores. A lot of us, we're experimenting with a wide variety of weapons. So this achieves several things, basically. It helps to improve with our toggling. The experimentation with weapons allows us to get a little better and not be limited to the same old, best weapon in the game type strategies. And also, because we all have these same limitations, it allows us to have fun because we can all see how we're all getting better in our overall playstyle. Now, a more competitive player doesn't really care anything about, necessarily trying to improve. In other words, they usually do not place any limitations on themselves because they're too focusing on, listen, I'm here to kick some you-know-what, and that's the end of it, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just basically spelling all that out to let you guys know that there's nothing wrong with being competitive. Neither is there anything wrong with being a casual player like myself. But if you're more casual, right, and I know thanks to the Only Afro vid, a lot of people place kind of like a negative connotation on being, casual. I'm just basically here to let you know, hey, listen, if you're not a pro, if you're not, major league gaming, it's all right to be a casual player, because in a lot of cases, and in a lot of ways, you really could be making a lot of improvements, although you may not be considered one of the so-called best players in the game, whatever that means. Because like I said before, I don't necessarily consider you to be the best if you're, stacking a whole bunch of poise. You're basically just getting out of every single hit for the most part because you have a Darkwood Grain Ring. And your gameplay basically is limited to a BS fest. I don't really see how, that is considered to be good, because anyone can basically just BS the crap out of each other. But that's just my view. A lot of people see differently, and I respect those views. But, I'm really comfortable with being what they call casual. Alright, so enough about the rant. Now, these are just a few matches, and I would say probably about a week's worth of arena experiences that I've had. And it was pretty much fun. It allowed me to experiment with a lot of builds. Because as a matter of fact, during the night that Spike and I hosted that Team Deus Arena Challenge, I had a try-hard build, and I used my standard 40-40 build. Now, I'll probably showcase my try-hard build for one of the build showcases, because I think it's an excellent build for team arenas. Right, so some of you guys may ask yourself, well, dude, if you just got done saying you're such a casual player, why were you using a try-hard build? Well, actually, because me and Spike we were actually trying, right? We were actually trying to get a record. And, we did pretty good, but, we ran into some challenging guys. As a matter of fact, there's a couple guys that they BS'd us so much, it was just ridiculous. Or we'll run into some of these other guys who basically all they do is just sit back in the background and cast Dark Bead and Crystal Soul Spear. So it was a lot of tactics there. And some of them we could counter, others we couldn't. But despite, what our record was, at the end of the day, we all had fun. And, no matter whether you're a casual player like myself or you're more competitive, at the end of the day, as long as you're having fun, that's really all that counts. So I'll probably go ahead and showcase my arena try-hard build. And as a matter of fact, with this game being so old and with a lot of people kind of being worn down from it. I'm really hoping that a lot of you guys can kind of bring a little more excitement to the arena. I mean, I've been here a few days, and and a lot of times, and like I said before, ensure that you're playing with friends. Because in some cases, playing with strangers can really spoil a good experience. So, I mean, for a lot of you guys that, perhaps you're getting a little bored with being in the Berg, perhaps you're bored with random invasions, perhaps you're bored with forest hunting, go ahead, put you guys a chat together, collect a group of friends amongst yourselves and come on out to the arena. I can guarantee that you guys will have fun. Alright, so enough about that. I'm basically just sitting here experimenting a little bit with my pyromancer build. This is probably the build that I'm worst at out of all the builds that I've used, but it's all good because, like I said before, we're just here having fun. So this is one of the times where I can experiment, right? Whenever I'm not in a tournament or nothing, as serious as that, that's when I'm out here experimenting. And that's another reason why I'll call myself a casual player, because, I get a lot of guys who will say, dude, I mean, I really feel like you're holding back. I mean, don't hold back. Just go ahead and play, the way you want to play. And what they don't understand is I'm not holding back, right? If I lose, I lose. If I win, I win. There's nothing more to it. I don't have anything to prove, right? I mean, don't get it twisted. Just because I'm the brigade and I have a YouTube channel, and some people may, conclude whatever they conclude because of that, it has nothing to do with how I see myself, right? In other words, some of you guys may say, holy crap, the brigade is good, the brigade is this, and the brigade is that. Well, the opinions that others may have about me and my playstyle is in no way a reflection of how I see myself. Because regardless of the content that I upload, I do it because I like the game, and I do it because I like to share my views and opinions with other people who like the game. So enough about that. So, like I said before, thanks again to Spike, all my subs, and other participants from Twitch and whoever else may have been out there, for the good times that we had on that particular night. Now, what I think we're going to do, and actually Spike kind of talked about this, he kind of brought the idea up, and I think it's a good idea. We're probably going to do this monthly, right? Because, we still have a few more months before the release of Dark Souls 2. And I think for us to have a community event would be excellent. Now, some of these community events will include arena just like this. Perhaps on another occasion we may just do a fight club with standard rules. So I'm going to talk it over with Spike and I, and perhaps we'll go ahead and mix it up, right? Because I know there's a lot of subs out there, there's a lot of Twitch bros who may say, hey, I would like to fight a streamer, I would like to fight an uploader and whatnot. So I think with us kind of have some events where we all can participate with each other, I think it'll be a good morale booster with regard to the Dark Souls series. Well, alright guys, thanks again for everybody who came out that night. Thanks to Spike for sponsoring it. So, hey, until next time, Martyrs Brigade is